forklift driver. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Dream Build Home series. As you guys can see, the dreary days are slowly rolling in, but the home building project presses on. There is no stopping. Luckily for us, we are now working inside, so that is great because everybody is staying dry and warm. Not much has really changed on the outside, apart from the fact that there is literally a swimming pool forming right outside. Actually, tell a lie, we did work a little bit on the outside of the building, focusing on the soffit area of the overhang of our building, which needed insulating first and packing down with some wood to make it ready for its soffit boards. This is how we are looking inside. So I think I updated you guys last on this area here where the MF ceiling was completed, and we started working on this section of the house here, just doing stud walls and basically prepping the media wall. Since then, we have had lots happen, so I'm going to update you guys on everything now. So we have started running all of this electric cabling and also started doing plumbing. So we've got a plumber around right now, putting all these copper pipes in everywhere for our services. We've also got these really pretty fairy lights, which is our first ever Christmas decoration. I'm just kidding, it's not really. We just put this up to basically have some kind of light all throughout the downstairs. But as you can see, we have started running major cabling all throughout here. We ran around 120 individual cables all across the entire house, which according to our electrician is actually quite a lot, considering most houses have about 11 cables in total. This was due to the home automation system that we are installing, which we will cover more on in a future video. I then installed these metal wall ravens to give our plug sockets and switches a stable fixing point and pulled through every cable. Look at all these cables.
It's quite a lot, and most of them are already wired in to the consumer unit. We've got some rough labeling there. We've got 130 cables, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's 3 miles of cable we've pulled, and we've pulled most of it ourselves with the help of Matt, our electrician. But running the cables, we basically did it all.
Yeah, it was a good like 2 weeks that we were running the cables through the whole building.
Yeah, so we've got 230 volt with home automation. We'll explain that in the next episode. 24 volt lighting. All the orange stuff is all the data. I've actually wired most of the data in now in these cabinets. I've actually wired up the data cabinet. So we've got the switch in, got a second switch with PoE.
It's
We've got
looking
storage,
smart.
Yeah, cameras. Probably got a little bit more to do in there.
Also, excuse the noise, our batteries are working very, very hard because it's a sunny day.
Yeah, I think the batteries are charging right now.
We also finished running all the mechanical ventilation pipes and secured them to the ceilings.
So this is the MVHR unit. We didn't really film ourselves pulling these pipes much because I think they're 50 meter or 100, they're 100 meter drums. And we did a lot of them.
Yeah.
And we were cutting our hands, pulling them through this MF ceiling. And we just couldn't set up a camera in the end. Like this took actually weeks.
Yeah.
Pulling all these pipes. So you get the extract air from the bathrooms, the kitchen, rooms like that. And you get the supply air, the fresh air to the bedrooms, the lounge, the living rooms. So what the MVHR does, it basically takes all that dirty, damp air, goes in the unit and it goes outside. And the fresh air comes from outside, but it exchanges the heat. So you don't lose the heat in the house, but you do get fresh air. There's a couple of air changes, I think possibly per hour, or it might be 1 air change per hour. So you essentially have fresh air in the house, basically all the time. So that's always working, it's always on. It's just a fan and a heat exchanger. So
there was actually a little bit of a backstory behind this. We wired all of these pipes wrong the first time.
Yeah, so we put all the extracts at the back and all the supplies at the front. And there's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 24 pipes. All were wired the wrong way around, like this. But this unit needed it the other way around. So we had to undo all of this, swap it around again.
It sounds like a quick little job, but it really wasn't. It took forever. It took like a whole day just to swap it around.
To move these pipes, they either need to be extended or shortened. To cut one of these pipes with a knife takes, a minute or two. You've got to put the rubber seals back on. in here, all these clips, and just rearranging it in the ceiling when there's not a lot of room, it was tough.
Meanwhile, the plumber was working away on the pipework in the bathrooms. We also installed all our shower valves and the rocker toilet systems within the walls. It's almost a shame that all these hours of work just gets hidden behind a wall. But I thought I would show you guys what this space looks like plasterboarded. Here it is. It looks literally so different. And as you can see, there is a lot of pipework already in position. For example, this is our toilet, which you would have seen the frame of. And this basically allows us to have a wall-hung toilet with a concealed cistern. For all these pipes that you see behind the wall, we use these like press fittings, which makes it a lot faster and a little bit more efficient as well to get all the pipes in position quickly.
Yeah, the pipes, those fittings are more money, but the speed that the plumber fits them, it's so worth it. So when we found a plumber, we insisted that this is what we use. Exactly.
But the annoying thing was that before we're even ready for any of our like units, bathroom things, we had to actually already buy everything so that we knew what the build up for the walls would be and what height we needed everything. So it was kind of stressful because literally as the whole house was just stud walled, we were already planning our bathrooms, which kind of felt crazy. So we already bought a couple of our hardware for the bathrooms and we opted for a brushed steel kind of look. We don't really like chrome too much.
Yeah, I mean, chrome shows the fingerprints. Matte black scratches the paint off, so I think brushed stainless steel is the best option.
Yeah, for sure. I used to love having black like hardware everywhere, but it's not that durable. So yeah, we opted for this instead. And everything throughout the house is basically going to be this color. And this is the sink that we have chosen for the 2 guest bedrooms that we have. So this is from Drench, I believe.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. I love this like ribbed kind of design. And this is actually wall hung, so it's not going to be at this height. It's going to be, you know, hung up here. And all the pipe work is already in position. It was then time to plasterboard the rest of the house. The task of lifting around 150 plasterboard sheets upstairs was definitely not fun for the boys. The guys used a handy plasterboard lift to position all the sheets on the ceilings first before continuing on the walls later on. Finally, the bare bones of the house were being covered up, and with each plasterboard that was going on, the place was looking more and more like a home. Plasterboarding the entire upstairs took them about 2 weeks, then it was time to progress downstairs. First, we had to insulate the ceiling with sound-deadening acoustic insulation to reduce noise from between the levels of the house. Then it was full steam ahead, plasterboarding it all once again. We're actually having some speakers built into the ceiling downstairs in the sort of living areas. So we actually made up these boxes for the speakers to be housed in, which also had to be put into the ceiling before they plasterboarded. We just made these out of MDF, and by doing it ourselves, we saved like £400, so I'm really, really happy that we did it ourselves. The reason why the boards downstairs are actually pink is because they're a special fire retardant board that we had to have to encase the steel beams downstairs. I'm still trying to convince my husband to let me paint the entire house this color. So recently we had a really exciting delivery of a sink for our downstairs bathroom. So obviously, like I said, we've been planning our bathrooms, which has been really hard when you can't exactly envision the room yet. So it's kind of been a bit of a process, but we came across this brand on Instagram called Lusso or Lusso, I don't really know how to say it, and we saw the sink and honestly we fell in love with it right away. I really wanted something super grand for the downstairs bathroom because it's one of the bathrooms that's going to be used the most, and this is the sink. It's like a black marble, very interesting linear kind of look. Let me show you guys. Are you ready? Ta-da! It's called a Pietra black marble, and this is actually a real marble sink. And as you can see, it doesn't have any sides to it. It's literally just like a slab. It does obviously have a little bit of a slope so that the water can drain in here, but it's a very shallow sink, which obviously does mean that you have to have a certain type of pressure coming out of the tap because you don't want it to like splat everywhere. This sink will mainly be just used for washing your hands because no one's going to be brushing their teeth downstairs or anything. And this is the waste that comes with it. That just goes in there. It's gonna be so cool. It's actually finished off with a matching black marble like cap. So in the photos of this sink on the website, they actually had it with like a matching black sort of shower screen or something behind it. And I did a little bit of a search to see what I could find that wasn't real marble, because that would literally break the bank. And I found a couple of different samples. These were the two closest looking ones that I found that really kind of matched the sink. But ultimately, out of the two, I mean, you can tell that this one is so much closer to the sink. So we ended up getting this panel, which I will show you guys now. We got, I think, 5 of these in total, and we're literally gonna cover the whole wall. So it's gonna be like a super big feature, and then the sink is gonna be wall mounted on top of these. I think it's gonna look really cool. And this is the room where it's all gonna be placed. So I feel like, yeah, this whole wall is gonna look super nice. Here's a couple of like ideas I had. I just literally used ChatGPT to generate these like render images of what this bathroom could be. I kind of had this idea of having like a little wooden slatted kind of room divider. So like the toilet could be here, and it kind of feels a little bit more private from the rest of the room. I don't know, I just like the feature. It's literally in so many of my Pinterest like bathroom ideas that I've pinned. So yeah, I would love that here. So let me know, out of the renders that I have, which one do you think I should do? And then we also did get the bathtub of our dreams for our master bathroom upstairs. And this is also from Lusso, which I'm super excited about. It literally weighs a ton though, so I have no idea how we're gonna get this upstairs. We're probably gonna have to use a telehandler to get this up there, like through the balcony, which is kind of crazy because we're not getting this up the stairs. This is where the bath is going, and we've got this huge skylight right above it. It's the only window in this room, but it does actually provide quite a lot of light. And yeah, obviously we're gonna have some spotlights there, and then around the skylight, we've actually installed this really cool aluminium LED trim.
So once it's plasterboarded, all you'll literally see is like the warm glow of the LED strip, which should look quite cool. And the plasterboard kind of just ends at the glass, so that's a nice finish. We've
also had a couple of aircon units installed throughout the house, which is really nice because it kind of future-proofs the place.
Yeah, I mean, in the summer, the MVH are supplying the air. You can put a summer bypass, so it'll bring fresh air in at a lower temperature than what's in the house, hopefully, but the aircon is a good backup.
Whilst we're up here, we might as well take a look at the lovely sunset. The weather has been so up and down, but it's been really nice today.
Apart from all the junk on the ground, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, this balcony still needs a lot of work. We might actually have to end up lifting some of it to like amend the roof, but won't get into that. Oh my gosh, guys, we have a guest. A little deer. What's he eating? He's just eating little chunks of grass on the mound. Oh, he's so cute. Hey, bud. He's not even that bothered. Man's trying to open the door. I don't think I've ever seen him this close up, because normally he runs away, and look at his little fuzzy antlers. He's so cute. Oh my gosh, I want to pet him so bad. No, don't run